The thing outside your tent is not afraid of you. It is afraid of making an alarm. Not because you are in the morning. Not because someone called your name. You wake up because of one tiny sound outside. Not because someone called your name. Breaks. You wake up because of one tiny sound outside. But in the dark, a dry branch breaks. It is a small sound. The tent around you is thin. It feels huge. So thin that if you reached out your hand, it almost feels like you could touch the night itself. So thin that if you reached out your hand, it almost feels like you could touch the night itself. One layer of nylon. And outside, there is the forest. No walls. A zipper. No locked doors. There is the forest. No concrete. No walls. No street doors. Just you, your sleeping bag, maybe a small knife if you packed one, and one uncomfortable truth. Just you, your sleeping bag, something out there really wanted to get in, one and one uncomfortable truth. It would not need to really wanted to get in. The tent would not need to climb a wall. It would not need to break a door. It would only need to step forward. It would not need to climb a wall. Why does it not? It would only need to step forward. Why do millions of people sleep in tents every year in forests, mountains, deserts, near rivers, near places where bears, wolves, cougars, leopards, deserts, crocodiles, snakes, and other dangerous animals, cougars, leopards, hyenas, wake up the next morning completely fine? And other dangerous animals. The answer is this. And most of them wake up the next morning completely fine. Humans as normal. The simple answer is this. But that answer is too small. Most predators do not see humans as normal point of view. A sleeping person looks too small. You are unconscious. From the human point of view, a sleeping person looks weak. You have no claws, no sharp teeth. You cannot run fast. You cannot see well in the dark. You cannot run fast. You look like an easy meal. You cannot see well in the dark. But from the animal's point of view, the story is completely different. But from the animal's point of view, the story is completely different. It sees a question mark. It does not. And in the wild, a question mark can get you killed. It sees a question mark. This is the part movies usually get wrong about predators. Can get you killed. Predators are not wild killing machines that attack every living thing they see. Predators are not wild killing machines that attack every living thing they see. It survives because it knows when to walk away. Because it knows when to ignore something that looks possible but feels too risky. It knows when to ignore something that looks possible. One bad choice does not just mean you lose a fight. Because in the wild, one bad choice does not just mean you lose a fight. A broken leg. It can mean you die slowly over the next few days. A broken damaged eye. A deep bite, cracked rib, a damaged torn muscle, a cracked rib cut. For humans, an injury can mean a hospital, pain medicine, antibiotic surgery, and rest. For an injury can mean a hospital, pain medicine, antibiotic surgery, and rest. Still has to hunt. For a predator, an injury can be a death. Still has to run. It still has to hunt. It still has to bite. It still has to run. It still has to fight. It still has to protect itself. It still has to fight. Nature does not have a recovery room. Protect itself. So before a predator attacks, it is not only recovery room. So before a predator attacks, it is not only also asking, can I kill this thing? Is it worth it? It is also asking, a sleeping human inside a tent is often not worth it. Not because you are stronger than the animal, is often not worth it, but because you are hard to understand. Stronger than the animal. Imagine you are a leopard moving through the night. You know the smell of deer moving through the night. You know the sound of small animals running through leaves. You know the sound of small animals running through leaves. You know how a young animal moves. Rabbit panics. You know which animals are weak, how young animals are alone, and which ones are easy to catch. Which animals are weak, your body is alone, and which ones are easy to catch. This smell means prey. Your body is built to read those signals. This movement means prey. This sound means prey. This movement means prey. This shape means prey. This sound means prey. But then you find a tent. This shape means prey. It does not look like a rock. But then you find a tent. It does not look like a tree. It does not look like a rock. It does not look like a tree. It does not look like any animal you normally hunt. It smells like a human, but not only like a human. It smells like plastic, but not only like a human. Synthetic fabric. It smells like plastic, metal, synthetic fabric, processed food, smoke, sunscreen, processed shampoo, sunscreen, bug spray, shampoo, rubber, bug spray, batteries, rubber, energy drinks, batteries, canned food, energy drinks. It smells like things that do not belong in the forest. It smells like things that do not belong in the forest. You are not a simple signal. To the nose of a wild animal, you are not a simple signal. You smell like an animal, but you are wrapped in materials that are not natural. You are lying inside a strange object. You are lying inside a strange object. You are surrounded by tools. You may be with other humans. To a predator, this is not other humans. And nature has one very practical rule. And nature does not understand it, do not touch it. Humans often think animals are curious in the same way we are. Humans often think animals are curious in the same way we are. Can be dangerous. But for large predators, the animals that were too careless around strange things, the animals that did not live long enough to pass on that behavior, often did not live long enough to pass on that behavior. The ones that kept distance from strange, risky things lived longer. Distance from strange, risky things became part of the system. So over time, changes the way we should look at a tent in the woods. Changes the way we should look at a tent in the woods. To an animal, it is a strange event. To an animal, it is a strange event. A strange object. A strange smell. A strange shape, and there is another signal that changes everything. And there is another signal that changes everything. This may be one of the most important details in the whole story. This may be one of the most important details in farming, before writing, before metal, before modern weapons, before writing, before metal, before modern weapons, humans had fire. For most land animals, fire is an ancient warning sign. For most land animals, fire is an ancient warning sign. Heat means danger. Heat means danger. Light moving in the dark means danger. Light moving in the dark means danger. Humans did not only run away from fire. Humans did not only run away from fire. Humans think about that from the point of view of an animal. Think about that from the point of view of an animal. Lightning, dry forest, fire came from lightning, dry forest, heat and disaster. It burned, it spread. It killed anything that could not escape. It killed anything that could not escape. This strange animal. Then one day, there was this strong as a bear, not as fast as a bear, not as powerful as a lion, not as powerful as a lion. Fire was its friend. It sat beside fire like fire was its friend. It fed the fire. Not only that, it protected the fire. It carried fire from one place to another. It carried fire from one place to night into light. It used fire to turn night into light. To animals, that is not only warmth. A campfire is not only warmth. It is a message. Something dangerous is here. Something that controls fire is here. Something that controls fire is here. Something you should think twice about is here. Something you should think twice about is not the fire itself. Maybe the scariest part is not the fire itself. Maybe the scariest part is the creature sitting calmly beside it. Picture our ancestors hundreds of thousands of years ago, sitting in a circle at night. Sitting inside the light, eyes shine in the dark. Outside the light, eyes shine in the dark. There are voices. Inside the light, there are voices. Wooden stone tools. Wooden spears. Children. Old people. Smoke. Old people. Heat. Smoke. Heat. Noise. A noise. One predator might be strong enough to kill one human, but it was not facing one human. But it was not facing one facing a system. It was facing something we often forget. And this is something we often forget. Humans did not evolve to be the strongest individual animal. Humans evolved to be the most difficult group animal. Be the most difficult group animal. One sleeping human looks weak. One sleeping human is rarely just one human. There may be other people nearby. There may be other people nearby. One scream can wake the group. One scream can wake the group. Can turn on flashlights. One strange movement can turn on flashlights. One attack can bring noise, fire, tools, sticks, rocks, vehicles, and chaos. Predators understand groups very well. They do not usually attack the center of a strong group. They look for the one that is separated. They look for the one that is separated. The one at the edge. The one at the edge. The young one. The young one. The old one. The old one. The injured one. The injured one. The one that fell behind. The one that fell behind. A campsite is a group. A campsite even when it is quiet, it carries the promise of noise. It carries the promise of noise and predators do not like chaos. Predators do not like chaos. They like control. They like control. A good hunt is predictable. A good hunt is predictable. Move close. Move close. Wait. Attack. Wait. Attack. Bite. Hold. Finish. Finish. But humans break the pattern. Humans break the pattern. We scream. We scream. We throw things. We throw things. We stand upright. We stand upright. We shine lights. We shine lights. We hit metal objects. We hit metal objects. We use fire. We use fire. We call other humans. We call other humans. We run in strange directions. We run in strange directions. Sometimes we do not run at all. Sometimes we do not run at all. Sometimes we run toward the danger. From the point of view of a predator, humans are unpredictable. A deer will act like a deer. A rabbit will act like a rabbit. A zebra will act like a zebra. But a human, no one knows. No one knows. And in the wild, something unpredictable is dangerous. A predator does not need to believe you can definitely beat it. It only needs to be unsure that it can beat you without getting hurt. That is enough. That is enough. That is why an animal can stand outside your tent, know you are inside and still walk away. Not because it cannot attack, but because the math is bad. Strange smell, strange object, possible group, possible fire. Possible tools, possible injury, possible consequences. In the wild, possible is a heavy word. But this story goes even deeper because the fear animals have of humans does not only come from one campsite. It comes from history. Humans have been a dangerous force in the lives of large animals for a very long time. We hunted. We trapped. We burned land. We protected our camps. We protected our livestock. We chased animals that attacked people. We killed animals that came too close. Across many generations, animals that were too comfortable around humans got into trouble. Animals that were more careful survived longer. And that caution stayed in the population. This does not mean a leopard is thinking. My ancestors had bad experiences with humans. Of course not. It does not need to understand history. Its body remembers through instinct. A smell. A voice. A human shape. A campfire. A strange object. All of these things can create one simple feeling. Stay away. What makes this even more interesting is that humans have a similar instinct in the other direction. You are lying in your tent. You hear something outside. You cannot see it. You do not know if it is wind, a branch, a mouse, a deer, or something much bigger. But your heart starts beating faster. You stop moving. You listen. Your mind imagines the worst. That feeling is not weakness. It is inheritance. The humans who ignored strange sounds at night may not have lived long enough to become anyone's ancestors. So when you feel afraid in the dark, maybe you are not being silly. Maybe an old part of your brain is still doing its job. And here is the strange part. While you are inside the tent thinking, something dangerous might be outside. The thing outside may be thinking, in its own animal way, something dangerous might be inside. Both sides are afraid. You are afraid of teeth and claws. It is afraid of risk. Injury. Noise. Fire. Tools. Other humans. The unknown. And that fear on both sides creates a silent distance. An agreement nobody signed. You stay inside the tent. It stays outside in the dark. Most of the time, that is enough. But if it were always that simple, attacks would never happen. And we need to be honest. Wild animals are not harmless. They can be dangerous. They can attack. People can be hurt. People can die. But when attacks happen, there is often a reason the normal rules have been broken. One of the fastest ways to break those rules is food. Not because the animal suddenly becomes evil, but because you teach it a new lesson. If a bear finds food at campsites again and again, it starts to connect the smell of humans with easy calories. If tourists feed wild animals, those animals learn that humans are not danger. They learn that humans are food sources. If trash is left outside, if food is kept inside a tent, if the smell of meat, fish, candy, or snacks gets all over your gear, you are changing the message. At first, the smell of humans may stay away. But if that smell comes with food again and again, it starts to say, come closer. That is when trouble begins. Not because nature betrayed us, because humans accidentally train nature to react the wrong way. A wild animal that loses fear of humans is dangerous for both sides. It is dangerous for people because the safe distance disappears. And it is dangerous for the animal because in many cases that animal will eventually be trapped, killed after it becomes a threat. A small piece of food thrown to a wild animal may look harmless. Sometimes it is the first step toward that animal's death. There is another way the normal rules can break. Desperation. A healthy predator usually chooses familiar prey. But a predator that is injured, pushed out of its territory, or unable to hunt its normal prey may start taking risks it would normally avoid. History has famous cases of tigers, lions, and leopards that attacked humans repeatedly. But when people look closer, many of those cases were not normal predator behavior. There was often an injury, broken teeth, a damaged jaw, loss of natural prey, human expansion into habitat, or an animal that had become too used to people. In other words, when the system is healthy, humans are usually a bad target. When the system breaks, everything changes. And this is where the story becomes bigger than camping. It becomes a story about how humans change the living world. We do not only scare animals when we directly hunt them. We also change their map of fear. A predator may avoid a trail because it smells people. It may avoid villages. It may avoid lights. It may avoid roads. It may avoid human voices. It may avoid human presence becomes an invisible wall. No fence needed. No gun needed. No gun needed. Just smell. Sound. Light. The thing outside your tent is not afraid of you. And when predators avoid an area, everything else can change. Footprints. Prey animals may gather there more often. Avoid an area, everything else can change more heavily. Prey animals may gather there more increase. Mid-sized predators may change their routes. Smaller animals may increase. Can shift around. Mid-sized predators may change their routes. The amazing part is this: the entire ecosystem can shift around to do anything. The most amazing part is this: sometimes we do not even have to do anything. Going to sleep. We only have to be there. It is a sign of a species that changes the rules of the planet. Not just a person going to sleep. A species that is weak alone but powerful with memory, tools, language, fire groups, and consequences. A species that is weak alone but powerful with memory, tools, language, fire groups, and consequences. Create on the same level as humans. Consequences. If a predator kills a deer, the other deer run away. Create on the same level as humans. Other humans may come back. If a predator kills a deer, the other deer run away. Maybe not right away. If a predator kills a human, other humans may come back. Maybe in a group. Maybe not right away. Maybe with dogs. Maybe the next day. Maybe with guns. Maybe in a group. Maybe with traps. Maybe with dogs. Maybe with vehicles. Maybe with guns. Maybe with traps. Wild animals may not understand revenge the way humans do. But over time, nature can still learn. Wild animals may not understand revenge the way humans often brings more humans. But over time, nature can still learn one cold lesson. Bad news. Causing trouble with humans often brings more humans. You are not only a body line. Humans are usually bad news. Shadow of your entire species. So when you sleep in a tent, you are not only a body line. You carry the shadow of your entire species. Traps. You carry the history of campfires. Voices in the night. Stone tools. Groups that defend each other. Animals that came too close and never came back. That may sound dramatic, but that is how evolution works. Animals that came too close and never need to understand the whole story. Sound dramatic, but that is how animals simply survive longer. One animal does not need to understand the whole story. Over time, instinct is written by life and death. The careful animals simply survive longer than the careless ones. Became a signal many animals learned to avoid. Instinct is written by life and death. But do not misunderstand this. Even without claws, became a signal many animals carelessly in the wild. But do not misunderstand this. It does not mean you should sleep beside food. This does not mean you should act carelessly in the wild animals. It does not mean you should take selfies with bears. It does not mean you should walk up to wild animals. Trash around. It does not mean you should take selfies with bears. Animals are afraid of me, so I am safe. It does not mean you should leave trash around. That is how people turn an advantage into an accident. Animals are afraid of me, so I am safe. Being unbeatable. That is how people turn an advantage into an accident. Clear. Your safety does not come from being unpredictable creature. It comes from keeping the right signals clear. You are a strange, organized, unpredictable creature. You use tools. You keep distance. You travel in groups. You do not act like easy prey. You use tools. And you do not invite wild animals to cross the line. But when you leave food in your tent, and you do not invite wild animals to cross the line. But when you leave food in your tent, you send the opposite signal. And in nature, a reward can make fear negotiable. There is a reward. So the real question is not, and in nature, a reward can make fear negotiable. So the real question is not, why would an animal that survives by hunting choose not to hunt something right in front of it? Why would an animal that survives by hunting choose not to hunt something right in front of it? It survives by calculating risk, because it does not survive by being reckless. It survives by calculating risk. It does not need to understand you. It does not need to look at the signals around you and decide. It does not need to understand you. It only needs to look at the signals around you and decide. A rabbit is more familiar. A dead fish near a river is safer. An unlocked trash can might be more tempting, and that is exactly the problem. Is safer. But a tent that smells like trash can might be more tempting, and that is exactly the problem. Maybe a group of people inside. But a tent that smells like humans, smoke, metal, plastic, strange food, and maybe a group of people inside. And in the wild, animals that live long are usually very good at walking away from bad calculations. And in the wild, animals that live long are usually very good at walking away from bad calculations. Still make your throat go dry. The night can still imagine eyes in the darkness. Sounds outside your tent. You may still hear every leaf like it is a warning. You may still imagine eyes in the darkness. That fear changes shape a little. Every leaf like it is a warning. Longer just the feeling that you are helpless in nature. That fear changes shape a little. That you are inside an ancient negotiation. Feeling that you are helpless in nature. You do not control the moment completely. It is the feeling that you are inside an ancient negotiation completely either. You do not control the moment completely. The animal outside does not control it completely either. It stands somewhere in the dark, smelling, waiting, judging. You lie still and listen. It stands somewhere in the dark, smelling, waiting, judging. Not because it did not know you were there. But because not because it did not notice, does not mean attacking everything you can attack. You were there. Survival means knowing when to disappear. Survival does not mean attacking everything. And maybe that makes nature more frightening. Survival means knowing when to disappear than the movies make it seem. And maybe that makes nature more frightening, but also a living creature trying not to die. And you inside that thin layer of fabric are not just a sleeping body. It is a living creature trying not to die. You are the smell of fire. And you inside that thin layer of fabric are not just a sleeping body. Strange animal with tools, light noise, and a long history of consequences. The memory of a group. You hear a branch animal with tools, light noise, and a long history of consequences. But maybe something out there is asking its own question. Is it worth coming closer? But maybe something out there is asking its own question. Because the thing outside your tent is not afraid of you in the way you imagine. The answer is no. It is afraid of making a mistake. The thing outside your tent is not afraid of you in the way you imagine. It is afraid of making a mistake. And in the wild, not every mistake can be fixed. You do not act like easy prey.